on the air, episode 105. Marker?
Sunny San Diego, California. On the air, it's on the air. Happy New Year, 2023, our fourth year together. How you like that?
I can't believe it. It is.
Can I just say this? I realize that I'm not going to be doing a song today, James. But the body is still warm, and you're in the middle of the stage. I think we should just change the name of the band to the James Band. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think so, too.
James Gang?
No, James Gang's been there. That's very good. James East, of course.
Episode 105.
Is it really?
Wow. And it's our fourth
What
year.
is that? Here's the problem, though. There's 52 weeks in a year.
Yes.
We're only on episode 105.
We finished 3 complete years. So that's...
Tells me we take a lot of time off. I think we should... So I think right now, we should set how many episodes we're trying to get to this year.
10.
That's ambitious. I think we could do 36 episodos this year.
I think so, too.
I think so, too.
I think that's
because I got some travel stuff, and I got, we got band stuff happening and all that stuff. But great to see you. How's the Sully Band? A big round of applause for these guys. Wow. You guys had a great year last year. So what did you, Nacho, did you do anything for the holiday?
I stayed home.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's it? Yeah?
Make babies.
Anybody try?
Hey.
It's all right. We'll edit that out.
No, we won't.
Nope.
Nacho's real name is Abraham, apparently. Did anybody go on vacation? I haven't talked to you guys since we played the Belly Up on December 3rd. Was everybody in town? You guys?
It's been a while.
Anybody get married? Anybody have babies?
Stayed in town.
I went to Cabo.
Did you? Oh yeah, I saw that. Thanks, James. Thanks for one more day. See, do you see a shift?
Yeah, I do.
Do you see a shift in James? Okay, and of course, a big welcome to our live studio audience here. Thanks for coming in today.
And that live audience, give it up for that live audience. It features who I believe will be the Rookie of the Year for the San Diego Padres.
Oh, you mean Gavin Sweeney?
Yes, Gavin Sweeney, the Rookie of the Year 2035.
Is this your first time on television, Gavin?
No, not first.
No? Because your dad's on TV all the time.
Yeah.
And he brings you on TV. So you're well known in San Diego.
I'm also on KOSI at the end.
Boom. See, there you go.
There it is.
Thank you, man.
That's awesome.
I have a special shout out to Christian Cyber, who is our. Where is Christian in the building? Christian is our new sound engineer. Okay. I've known Christian since he was about this high. Where is he? Is he here? Oh, there he is. He's in the studio. And his mom, Kathy, a very good friend of mine. His sister Sterling are here, and it's great to see you guys. Boy, talk about. This goes back to the volleyball days when our girls were in volleyball. So, anyway, so what did you do for the holiday?
8. I had fun.
I bought you a Peloton, not this Christmas,
and you
but
know
last
what?
Christmas.
And that Peloton, thank you. This is where I put I have
You hang your clothes on?
I have 3 suits.
And they all hang on the.
They hang on the Peloton.
Will this be the year that you get on the Peloton?
You know what? This is the year.
Okay.
This is the year.
Do you remember when you used to? I remember listening to you on some radio show in San Diego. Jeff and Jer.
Yeah. I used to have a running club.
I know. You used to have a walking thing up Torrey Pines.
As a matter of fact.
And it was a bunch of 40-year-old women. I mean, what could go wrong?
Coincidentally.
You, one guy, and a bunch of Carmel Valley mom babes walking up the hill.
Coincidentally, one of the audience members, the guy back there named Jim, he came in and said, "Hey, Tommy, remember me?" He was part of that.
He's no dummy. Yeah. Because when you do this, when you go out and say, "Hey, I'm going to go out there and try to get fit this year," it's not guys that are going to show up.
No,
it's going to be going to be the ladies.
And
why wouldn't you do that?
Cool. It started on March 7th, 2007. I remember the day with one person.
Right.
30 days later, when I went for a walk, it was 200 people.
No kidding.
I had to pay a
Let's see if you have that kind of juice now, mister.
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna call it January 10th is going to be your first day. Okay? January 10th.
2024?
No, this year.
Let's do it. I can do it.
Because the new studio is not built like this. The new studio is, we're wide open. We're standing out in the open. Yeah, we're in front of the video wall, so.
Crap.
Yeah, you getting all. We had such a great time last year. We had a really interesting year in 2023 or 2022 with respect to all the stuff that happened here on the air. And of course, with the band, with Tommy's breaking and entering, of course, we lost Russ T last year. But it was a bittersweet year. But I think 2023 is going to be better, as I mentioned on KUSI this week, even economically. It's going to be. Listen, we're going to be in this mess for another year or so, but it's not going to be it's not going to feel as bad as we thought, because they're talking about a word called slow session now. Slow session instead of recession. And that's sort of where the Fed's going to...
It's a good thing, right?
It's a good thing. It's going to be a good thing because prices will trickle down, okay? Interest rates will trickle down. We'll just get used to it sucking, and then all of a sudden we'll be at 2% inflation again. It'll be all over. But I think it's going to take us a year to get there. So either way, you have our show to lean on to have some fun every week. So here we go. So what do we got today? I know we've got a husband and wife duo today. Very known people in Sandy. Very well known.
Power duo.
Power couple, for sure.
And we have a woman coming up. She's going to be the third guest. Every time she walks into a room, everyone says, "Aw."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but let's save her for a minute.
Yes.
We won't tell you what it is. All right, what do we got going?
All right, let's bring on our first guest. Ladies and gentlemen, she's the best thing to come out of North Dakota. Ladies and gentlemen, she's the only thing to come out of North Dakota. The First Lady of Fitness in San Diego, Cindy Whitmarsh Sweeney.
Good to see you, kiddo. Wow.
Right there.
Did you really pull out an Olivia Newton-John song from the movie Xanadu?
I'm pretty sure that was Little Tommy's deal.
Is that what you did here?
Let's get physical.
Cindy
Hello.
Whitmarsh Sweeney, great to have you along today. We give
Thanks
her a
for
big round
having
of applause,
me.
please, because you have been a KUSI staple. How many years? 25 years?
22?
22, yeah.
Yeah.
Since you were a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just a baby.
Yeah, no kidding. So what's going on now? I see you doing social media posts in a gym in Del Mar called Sante,
Yeah.
which I'm an investor in, by the way.
Are you really?
Yes, exactly right. Yeah, Craig Dato, who's rounded up a lot of the guys for that deal, and that's a really cool place. What's that? What are you doing on there?
So one of my good friends is a trainer there, and we've been training together. So I just go there and get my butt kicked a couple times a week, just to do something different, you know. Because if you do the same thing all the time, you're never going to see results. But having somebody else push you in a fun way, it's pretty cool.
So here's my question: Has fitness, since you started, when Susan Powder was out there saying fat makes you fat, and
Right.
eat carbohydrates because there's no fat,
Right.
to the day where we are now, where there's keto diets and there's protein diets and there's high fat and low sugar and so on. So during this little arc of the story in fitness, and you've been at the tip of the spear the whole time, who's right? Who was right? What era was right? Are we right now?
You know, I think we're getting more like this is the time that everyone's starting to figure it out.
Okay.
And honestly, it's always the same thing. It comes full circle. People do all these fad diets and then they realize that's not right. That's not right.
Yeah.
It's really honestly, it's water. It's eating small portions. You can eat anything you want in small portions. And why would you tell yourself you can't have something and deprive yourself of something because you know you're going to binge on it and you know you're going to go right back to that cycle. So it's just eating healthy, small portions, and
water?
And water and fitness.
Is there a single person? Is there a single person in this
What do
studio?
you got over there?
I'm doing it wrong.
How many people? Is there a single person in the studio that doesn't suck it in when Cindy Whitmarsh walks in this?
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Come on.
Good. What is your favorite food?
My
I've always wanted to ask you what, like, if you could have anything in the world,
Like a cheat food?
anything, and don't say kale because I'll kill myself.
I really like sushi.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Best sushi in town. Who's your best sushi place?
Ken Sushi.
Ken
is
Sushi
good.
Workshop. Damn right.
Wait,
in
I got a
Carmel.
question.
Wow.
It's expensive though. It's just so expensive.
When was the last time Cindy Whitmarsh Sweeney
Had a double-double.
went through a drive-through?
Oh my gosh, this is really funny. So Gavin,
Gavin has his head down in shame.
Gavin,
You shouldn't be. You're like 12 years old. You can't be shameful what you eat.
he begs me all the time, and it was one of those days where we were like running around, and I had to give him something. I'm like, oh, fine. And so we were going through this driveway, going through the drive-through, and I get whatever he needed or whatever. I'm like, okay, now cover me as we're going out so no one sees me. There's
That's
paparazzi
true.
everywhere.
Yeah, you roll through a McDonald's and
He's
suddenly
like, Mom,
you're
you're not that famous.
What's your favorite drive-through there, Gavin?
Probably Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. All right, yeah. They didn't have Chick-fil-A when we were kids.
No.
Here in San Diego, did they?
No, they
We had
didn't.
Jack in the Box.
And that's it.
Basically, which was a San Diego company, food maker. All right. I hear you have. I hear you're 50%. I hear you're 70% of a power couple.
Yes, I am. 70%.
Yes, right.
Let's bring out the next
Here's your
guest.
lesser third coming up here. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's a former Major League ball player. He's a broadcaster for the San Diego Padres, but I know him for being a great dad and a great husband. Coming up to bat, Mark Sweeney.
I never get tired of seeing you because I'll tell you why. And not that I get tired of seeing you, but I see you all the time.
Yeah.
But I remember watching you as a Padre. And you were my favorite Padre for a number of reasons because you're the utility guy.
Oh.
And you started out as, kind of the guy trying to get playing time. Then suddenly you were like Mr. Clutch, Mr. October. And I'll never forget that. And I'm so glad that you're still with the organization.
I appreciate that. I still want to correct you though. It's 75%.
Okay.
It's not
So
70%.
you're better three-quarters.
I appreciate that. I listen. Every big leaguer just wishes to have a day in the big leagues.
Yeah.
And I always tell people that I was privileged as soon as I set foot on that first Major League field in a St. Louis Cardinals uniform. But continuing to be able to be that dream, I'm hoping for our 11-year-old to have those
Absolutely.
dreams.
Well, if
and
the social media
aspirations, too.
posts are any indication, he's almost there. I mean, honestly, it's and do you think, because there's going to be people in the audience, there's people that probably watch you guys. They say, well, that's genetics. He's in the majors. He's going to go to the majors because his dad was in the majors. I think it's a lot of hard work. I've seen this kid working since he was, 3 or 4? I mean, honestly, on social media, because I've known you guys for a while. What do you think it is for the Johnny Lunch Bucket out there that's going to make it right now? Is it a matter of a little bit of each?
It's an interesting question because we're still trying to figure that out as parents. And yes, we have our daughters that are in beach volleyball that go
Which are
out
killing
there
it also.
They're doing fantastic. So half of that is what they're doing and what he's watching. But I always say, find something you love to do.
Yeah.
I do not force baseball because I was in it. I force a passion for what you do. And also, we always talk about work ethic and enjoying what you do. At 11 years old, he doesn't have to make that choice.
Right.
He has to just enjoy himself, and he does. And I always
He's loving
say
all
that.
the sports.
He is.
Yeah.
He loves all the sports, and
We
I
think
always
that's
say it.
important too, to play different sports,
Right.
not just one.
Yeah.
It's important to be a good kid, right?
absolutely.
First and foremost. It's not about how much success he has at 11 years old.
I made a lifetime of it, being a good kid. There's a certain point you want to cut the kid thing off. Gavin, do you watch your dad's old baseball tapes and stuff?
I have a video on my phone. It's when he hit a home run
Yeah.
off of the Diamondbacks one time.
Yeah.
I watch that every once in a while.
Good. Dynamite. Good
There weren't
stuff.
too many of those.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Good
I have a
stuff.
question. So I grew up here in San Diego. I remember when the Padres since 1969, Nate Colbert, all through the years, 84 Padres,
Gary
98
Templeton.
Padres, everything. And I don't
Ozzie Smith.
recall any era where when you open the, social media, you see they just got this guy, they just got this guy, they just got this guy.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is it so different right now? In a good way.
A general manager.
Yeah, Peter Seidler, I'll say first and foremost, the organization, yes, A.J. Preller and his staff, it's excitement. And when you get to that new year as a baseball player and a former baseball player, you start getting excited no matter what. But the Padres and what they did last year, defeating the Los Angeles Dodgers and advancing against the Philadelphia Phillies in the championship series, they took that next step. And now Peter Seidler brought in Xander Bogaerts, who is one of the most likable guys in baseball coming from Boston. There's a lot of excitement there. The fans should be excited. I can't wait.
Cindy, were you a baseball fan before you met him? Really?
No, in fact, funny story, when we found out that Gavin was a boy, I was like, no, does that mean I have to go to baseball games? And Mark's like, I'm a baseball player. I'm like, sorry.
How did you guys meet?
I was his nutritionist when he was trying to play one more year out of the big leagues. And that's when we met and became friends. And
Out of all the nutritionists in San Diego, how did you say, okay, I think I'm going to go for Cindy?
I was always telling people I was looking for an edge. I was 39 years old. Trying to play at 40 years old is very difficult at a young man's sport. So I was looking for a different edge. That's the reason why. And I wasn't a nutritionist guy. I just tried to do what was right. Eat smaller portions, right? That's what you say. It's something that you are looking for that edge. but I also found a partner in life and have 2 beautiful girls to be able to raise and have fun with, and we've had Gavin, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's a nice story for us to feel very proud about.
Cindy, I never asked you this. How did you get your start? Because you and I met as my nutritionist when you were at Frogs. I was a taco shy of 400 pounds at the time. One more burrito would have gone over. But no, I met you.
Yeah.
I met you. It might have been 25 years ago.
Well, I'm from North Dakota, as Tommy said. Makes fun of. And I just drove my little yellow car out of town, and I told my parents I wanted to start a fitness business. And I said, Dad, you can make $14,000 a year. And he's like, huh, Cindy, that's not. I go, I'm going to do it. And they said, well, we're not going to support you. You're not going to do it on your own. So I ran the health and fitness center at General Dynamics, and then taught like aerobics in 3 different gyms, so 3 times a day, just to make ends meet.
And you were a
personal
kid,
train from
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
What
right
year-
out of college.
What year were you at General Dynamics?
94.
94.
93, 94.
My mom retired as head of employee benefits for General Dynamics in 95. I wonder if
Really?
you guys worked together.
How funny.
Yeah, that's interesting. She's watching right now. She watches everything. In fact, we need to bring her in to meet you because she's asked to watch
Aw,
you.
that's so sweet.
You know that Cindy Whitmarsh, Bob? Does she still do some fitness? Does she come to the house? No, Mom. Don't know what you're talking about. Mark, can you take us through again? Take us back to a gentler time, would you? How did your baseball career start? To the music of the Nats.
My gosh. I think it's shocking to a lot of people because they think you're just at 10, 11 years old, you fall in love with baseball. I didn't fall in love with it until I went to college. University of Maine in Orono was not a hotbed for a baseball program, but it was one of the established ones in the Northeast. And I think it's, you work hard and you have an opportunity and you wonder if you're going to be good enough. And you just go out there and have fun doing it. Kept on snowballing in the right direction. So I fell in love with baseball. You got to have the love for it.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, 14 years in the big leagues, I was like, man, this is a luxury that I can't, a dream that I could
And
never
in high school,
envision.
Weren't you a quarterback?
Yeah, football was my first love.
Wow.
It was my first love. It was one of those things I had to try to decide, but I went to a small high school, so I had no idea what was next. And
Hey, after the break,
Found out.
can I get your thoughts on DeMar Hamlin?
yes, sure can.
What do you know? On the air once again, 2023, our first show, Tommy.
One more guest to bring on.
1/10 of the way done for 2023.
Yes.
All right. Mark Sweeney, Cindy Whitmarsh Sweeney, and the Sully Band. Thanks for coming, guys. Two times.
Yeah.
Mark, were you looking at the keys and not the director? Is that what's happening?
I'm afraid I was.
That rarely happens. Hey, great to have you along on the air. Our first show of 2023.
2023.
Later in the program, we have all the numbers, I believe, Mary, from Breaking and Entering Christmas with Tommy. So we'll talk about that a little bit because you raised the roof this year. In fact, let me give a preemptive round of applause for little Tommy.
No, but
No, dude, I'm not going to say the number yet.
but
Fabulous.
it was a San Diego thing.
But yeah, it
Because
was.
even the couple right here, Mark and Cindy, they took care of a family off the air.
Oh, that's
And,
exactly
and
right.
many people.
Okay, so we saw this last weekend,
A couple days ago.
with respect to football.
Yeah.
We saw someone actually have go into cardiac arrest on the field after hitting another player. In other words, we knew football was a contact sport, right? We knew that, and all we ever talk about is concussions, head injuries. And suddenly now we're hearing about this a new risk that, all I can think of is going back to when I was literally the biggest kid on my high school football team at this size. And I would be the smallest kid on my high school football team these days. So it comes down to this training and nutrition thing, but there's a double-edged sword. Why don't you talk about this story?
Were you watching, Mark?
I was. We were over a friend's house, and it just escalated in the wrong direction. And I think we all had those emotions because the pictures and how ESPN, which I thought did a fabulous job, because I looked at it two ways. I looked at it, if you're on the field as a teammate, how scary that is.
Yeah.
But also as a broadcaster, sometimes you can say too much.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a fabulous job just covering what that was. But the reality of the situation, he's in all of our prayers, and
Sure.
we're hoping for the best.
And I heard that, and these are two good things, that when he left the field, his heart was beating, and the ambulance waited for his mom.
Yeah.
I mean, those are two great things. And
that's something that's a lesson learned about football. So as parents of an athlete here who wants to do everything, including jump off the pier, how do you monitor that stuff? Because I don't think anybody could have talked me into playing football as a kid. I mean, I would have snuck out there. I would have gotten in trouble for it. Is it different these days because of the club ball and the private lessons and everything else? Is it a whole different ballgame?
I think we realize that there's risk in anything that you do. I don't know the answer to that yet.
Yeah.
You look at a situation that's in front of us now, and your perspective changes.
Yeah.
But you also have to have an understanding that you can't deprive someone from going out there and doing something that you love to do.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, football was my love.
Yeah.
Just like yours.
Yeah.
We all have different loves and different aspirations to do something. You want to be encouraged to do that. But when you see something that unfolded on the field like that, I think a lot of things change.
Hey, Cindy, is it just nutrition and training technology that's gotten kids bigger? I mean, you didn't see 6'6" quarterbacks when Mark and I were playing football, and I'm older than you are.
Yeah.
But is that what happened? Because
I think, yes, I think that people have been more educated about how to train, how to get bigger in the right way. But I also feel like there's a lot of hormones in foods that never used to be.
Yeah.
That's creating bigger and taller, stronger individuals naturally.
I mean, I think the biggest guy on San Diego State's football team back when I graduated in '83 is about the size of a quarterback these days.
Right.
It's just amazing to me. I mean, which is another reason why, if you're going to go out there, you have to keep training, you keep yourself from being killed, literally these days.
Yeah.
So, hey, can we just move on to a lighter puppet like puppies?
yeah, let's bring out our next guest. Ladies and gentlemen,
Kittens.
when this next guest walks into a room, people run up to her, not just because of her beauty, but because she brings puppies from the Helen Woodward Animal Center. Ladies and gentlemen, Gercke.
Did you get superstition as you walk on something?
I did. It's one of my favorite songs ever of all time. It doesn't really go with the puppy, but it goes with anything else.
I messed up something.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, Gercke with Cheyenne.
Cheyenne, okay, very good.
And here she is.
So, you don't just have puppies.
No.
But I always see you with puppies. I
I've
normally see you with
I usually have a puppy in my hands, and when people walk up to me in San Diego, they'll be like, "Aren't you the puppy lady?"
Yeah.
And I feel like if I don't have a puppy in my hands, I'm a disappointment.
But there's other dogs too, and there's other animals too there. At
Oh
Helen
yeah,
Woodward.
well, we only adopt out at Helen Woodward Animal Center. We only have cats and dogs up for adoption.
Right.
But we have so many animal ambassadors because we have an education program there, and we basically are teaching humane love for all living creatures.
I mean, look at that one right there.
Thousands of animals that go through.
That's an ugly puppy.
That's Kronk and Cusco. Those are our alpacas. But the whole goal of Helen Woodward was to make sure that she taught kids how wonderful the creatures are that we share this world with, to make sure that we go through our life loving these animals and taking care of them.
Helen Woodward Animal Center is featured twice a week on KUSI. Take us from the beginning. Who was Helen Woodward?
Yeah.
Was there a Helen Woodward?
There was indeed. And she liked animals more than people. She had a beautiful 12-acre property that she ended up saying that she wanted to devote to animal welfare. She started with 2 programs. She started with adoption as well as humane education, as we were just talking about. She really felt like we couldn't really make the world more humane unless we started with kids. Because once people are not adults, don't like animals, it's very hard to go back. So she wanted to start with kids. We have thousands of kids that go through that program. But today we have over 14 programs all dedicated towards the mission of people helping animals, animals helping people. And it's my dream to work there. We have so many beautiful, beautiful programs helping the animals, and then the animals helping us, even therapeutic horseback riding. And we've got pet encounter therapy, where we bring the unconditional love of animals into hospitals and convalescence centers. I could go on and on. This is certainly a topic that I absolutely love, but it is an amazing, amazing world.
In the beginning of the year, is it accurate to say that most facilities, animal facilities, are over capacity?
Absolutely, and I would say in particular, this year has been crazy because, as we all know, what happened, just as far as inflation and even what happened with gas prices, people were literally looking for, where can I cut back? And for a lot of people, it's very easy to say, well, I don't want to pay for my pet's food, I don't want to pay for veterinary care, so we'll just hand it over to the shelters. But of course, these shelters, many of them, particularly across the world, are at capacity. And we're very lucky at Helen Woodward Animal Center that we're a no-kill facility. But of course, there are plenty of places where they do end up having euthanize.
All right. I have so many questions.
Okay.
We're also a no-kill facility here at On the Air. Although I've wanted to kill Tommy a number of times. And he's wanted to kill me a couple of times. Much more to come. Mark Sweeney, Cindy Whitmarsh Sweeney, Jessica Gercke, and Diane. There you go. All right. Sully Little. See you. Just like they knew what they were doing. My goodness.
Hey, Mark, Cindy, do you know you're about 7 years away to have your names changed to Gavin Sweeney's parents?
Yeah,
You are.
true.
Let's hope
Sooner
so.
than that, probably.
Let's hope so.
We need to get Gavin mic'd up because we're going to get him up here at the bar. Be his first bar. I want to be there for it.
I want to be there for it.
I have a quick question for you, Jessica.
Yes.
What do you even know, is there a #1 dog breed that is brought in to Helen Woodward? If you had your guess?
I mean, I would say Chihuahuas are huge.
Of course they are. Because you know what?
Yeah.
Who wants a Chihuahua?
Oh, they are the best. They are the best. Of course.
He said to Helen Woodward.
Of course, pit bulls, but we call them terrier blends, are a big one. And of course, all of these animals have beautiful qualities, and I really feel that oftentimes it's because people have negative impressions of them.
Wait a minute, hold on. We have a pit bull.
Okay, imagine Sweeney walking down the street up to, he's going to the broadcast booth at Petco. with a Chihuahua.
Right?
All right?
No one
Is there
wants to
some
see
sort
that.
of cultural appropriation that goes along with that?
So many ladies would be like, "Aw."
See, Cindy wouldn't like that. So I'm thinking he's going to get a
Cindy
Newfoundland.
would be fine
No,
because
I
she would know that it was all about the dog.
I don't want to see him with a chihuahua.
Is it? Okay, wait. Here's another thing. Is it ever okay to have a purse dog?
I mean, personally, I would say no because even Chihuahuas, you're supposed to put them on the ground. So many people want to carry them around, but
Very nice
really,
people, but you got to be dazzled phone case and a purse dog. I'm just thinking,
you got to make sure
you don't
they
have
their
a golden retriever at
independence,
that
too.
point, right?
Hey, I want to back up pit bulls. We have a pit bull named Paul McCartney.
Aw.
You do? At home?
Well, my granddaughter inherited him.
Okay.
But Paul McCartney is so close with Olivia, and she's 4.
Yeah.
And I trust Paul with her.
Yep.
And they're the best dogs.
What do you call them again?
Paul McCartney.
Oh, we call them terrier blends
Terrier
because they're
blend.
Stafford Terriers. But, it's true. We had one in our therapy program that was amazing. Would go in and visit all sorts of people, in convalescent hospitals. Gentle, kind, like a lamb. Came to visit my dog.
Also eats lambs, don't they, with the big jaw?
No, and I'm telling you, came to visit my dog at my house. My dog's very, very sweet, I think. My dog started barking immediately, felt threatened by this pit bull. And the pit bull looked up at its owners and went, like it knows that everybody kind of thinks that they're ferocious, but they're the sweetest
Yes.
creatures. They just have to be treated right
Loved.
and loved right, and then they are amazing.
What, have you guys ever had a Great Dane or a Newfoundland?
Yes,
a
we
big
have.
giant, like the size of a Volkswagen?
We have.
Have you? And,
yes,
and
we
they're
have.
up for adoption?
Yes.
Call
and
me when one of those has.
Well,
I think a Newfoundland, I think that's going to match us here. It's a shop dog, don't you think? Also a place to sit.
I
No,
will
but I
give
mean,
you a
those
call, Sully.
Newfoundland, those chocolate brown Newfoundlands are the coolest things
They
ever
are
because they look like a couch walking down the street.
Yeah, we just had one, I think, recently. It was a puppy, but I mean, as a puppy, it was like supposedly, a few weeks old, and it was like already, and I was like, oh, that's good.
Did somebody pick that up?
Yeah, very fast. They go very, very quickly.
Yeah, good stuff. Mark, I have a question. But before I forget, so we're talking about numbers and how many dogs. How many dogs and cats are every year?
Each year through Helen Woodward, 4,000 are rescued,
My
about
goodness.
4,000. Amazing.
Good for you.
And but of course, there are millions in this country that.
But still,
Yes,
here in
but
San Diego-
we're working.
And the Hope Telethon on KUSI, you
Yeah.
raised $500?
We raised over $1 million.
What?
Thanks to our
$1 million
friends
bucks?
at KUSI. That all goes towards helping those animals, so we're very grateful.
Okay, good. I want to help you host next time on the Save the Chihuahua campaign.
Please. I'm gonna hold you to that, Sully.
Speaking of numbers, I have to bring up. Can we bring back a little Christmas memory, a little thing we like to call breaking and entering Christmas? Come on. 90 families, and I'll tell you what. That's had to be is that the biggest year? You handed that family.
Well, here's why it was the biggest year. We took care of one family on the air on KUSI, but we took care of 92 families off the air.
Okay, so first of all, let's take
And I
the
want to
one-
thank Mark and Cindy and their family because they actually took care of a family off the air. And what was your experience with it?
Oh my gosh, amazing. We had a connection with the gal who wrote the letter. I had an instant connection with her. And then when I told Mark about the situation with the family, we were all in. The whole family was in. And we had such a good time, like getting all the things and asking for other people to donate as well. But I'll just tell one part of the story. The mom was sleeping on the floor because she had got out of an abusive situation from her husband, and so the daughters had the bunk beds in there. So the first thing we have to get her off the floor. So we got a sofa bed for the family room so that she could,
Like a
sleep on
convertible.
the bed. Yeah, and
Oh.
it was so amazing, you guys, when those little girls came into the house and they saw, all of us and everything, and they were just in tears, and we got them a cozy rug, and the little girls were rolling around on the rug, and they were just so happy, and it was just, like, for our kids to see, I think is one of the main reasons we wanted to do it as well. It was just a gift.
I'll never forget the expressions on their faces.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. And that does everything. That's
And-
what we're supposed to bring. We're supposed to bring joy to the... Wow.
I mean, that's life-changing money.
Yes.
For these. Now, on top of that, I wasn't aware that we are helping other families. So tell me, how does that process work?
You know what? Coincidentally, the tradition of helping families off the air started with the San Diego Padres. The very first year, 1996, was a real break-in. I helped a family off the air, and I broke in. That was it. The first year. The second year.
Felony.
The second year in '97, a guy named Steve Finley and a guy named Wally Joyner called me and said, "Hey, Tommy, we love breaking and entering Christmas, but what do you do with those extra faxes about families that you get?" And I said, I toss them out. And Steve Finley said, "Wait, give us about 20. And so,
and that's
so
what happened.
Steve Finley, I mean, I don't even know why I'm crying.
Because the rest of the city is crying with you.
No, but listen, Steve Finley and Wally Joyner took care of families off the air for several years, and then that started the new tradition of taking care of families off the air. And Steve still does it. He doesn't like getting mentioned. And his kids, I'll always remember it, his kids were little as Cheyenne. Were little kids. And now they're older. It was so cool.
I think that's fantastic. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to all KRSI viewers and the rest of San Diego. You guys, amazing. And we'll do it again this year, right?
Yes.
We'll do it one more time. Right? All right. Much more to come. On the air is on the air. We're going to talk Padre baseball when we get back.
Yes.
And decide whether Fernando Tatis Jr. is a bad word or a good word in 2023.
He's a good word.
All right.
Yes.
Very good. We'll see you in a minute. On the air. Thanks for you guys for coming out today.
Live audience.
Mark Sweeney, Cindy Whitmarsh Sweeney, Jessica Gercke, and of course we have a very special guest coming out here today. Do we have some walk-on music for us?
Yes, we do. We have a little intro.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's 11 years old out of San Diego, California, 5th grader. Projected MLB Rookie of the Year 2034. Projected NFL MVP 2035. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Gavin Sweeney!
Perfectly executed. There's your Bruno Mars. I think it's good when someone comes out on TV and goes, "Hey everybody, how are you? Great to see you." Finger pistols, the whole thing. Get it working early. He knows you got to work the crowd out there.
Oh, yeah.
He works the crowd.
So many ball players out there, when they get on the field, they ignore the crowd. I'm telling you, that's the money.
Right.
You know, I have a very good friend here in San Diego. One of the guys that actually founded the band for us. His name is T-Pat Stubbs. His wife is Marty Gellin Stubbs. You guys probably heard of the Gellins, the real estate mavens here in San Diego. But he did the Del Mar Concert Series, right? They and I love you, T-Pat, but you're the most unathletic person I've ever seen in my life. He doesn't have one but two sons in the majors. He's got C.J. Stubbs playing for the Astros, and of course Garrett Stubbs for the Phillies, who's been in a third World Series in 3 years with 2 teams.
I know that dude now.
And the best part of Garrett Stubbs, although I love the kid, is that he is so engaging with the crowd. I mean, he got 0 playing time in the World Series. In fact, they wrote articles about him. But he was that one guy in the dugout, and I know how much you love this about him, is that he's the one guy that all the players love because he was probably the catalyst in the dugout because he couldn't be the catalyst on the field. And he's also one of those guys that talks to all the people. So you remember that, man. You gotta say hi to us little people when you're up there.
I'll keep it in mind.
I have a question
By the way,
for
you don't
Gavin.
have to hold this anymore. It's a fake mic. In fact, your mom should hold it. See,
But I have a couple questions for Gavin. Gavin, I watch you on social media. What sport do you enjoy the best?
I think it's baseball and football are my top 2, but my top 3 is baseball, football, and basketball.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I've watched you go to work with your dad, and you've had some great experiences. Do you have one that sticks out where you went, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm taking photos with this guy"? Is there one scene?
Well, I love going down with the field with him. It's really fun meeting players, and especially Bogarts. I meet him this year. But yeah, it's really exciting going to his work. I love it. I enjoy the people there. They compliment me. They take care of me while I'm at work with him, and it's really fun.
I want to come to work with you. Please.
And
Who did you take a picture with that was your favorite?
Yeah, who's the biggest?
Probably Manny Machado.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I enjoyed the most because I think he has a really good personality.
How do you feel about Fernando Tatis Jr.?
He's a nice guy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about his baseball?
He's talented.
Yeah? You think he's the face of baseball like LeBron James is the face of basketball, in your opinion?
For right now, not really, but
Okay.
like before, yeah.
You know what? Forget sports. You're going to be the next mayor.
No kidding. What are you talking about?
Okay, one final question. You have two big sisters, and they're great athletes. When you watch them play, is it just amazing because they're elite athletes in volleyball?
Yeah.
No.
They're special to me.
Yeah.
They're really great sisters.
Which one do you like the most?
He's talking about between me and Tommy.
I get asked by them so many times. They ask me that, and I'm like, I can't say that.
Yeah.
You can't ask
You
me.
can now because you're on TV. They're not watching. They're up in LA. They're in the Olympics right now. They can't even see you. You can say whatever you want. Mark, let's talk about Padre baseball this year. If you grew up in San Diego like me and Tommy, okay, the hell with Cubs fans. You've gone through nothing. If you're a San Diego fan with the Padres and the Chargers and the Gulls and the Rockets, the Conquistadors, the Clippers, and we're now down to, we're basically Sacramento. We have a baseball team, but we have a great baseball team.
Right.
And this year, you didn't hear on the radio and television, typical Padre baseball, didn't make it to October. It was a fantastic season. Would Fernando Tatis Jr. have made a difference and got us over the edge to the Phillies, you think? Would it have been a deal maker, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think the talent level there and what he's done previously, he would have added a lot.
Yeah.
That being said, I was proud of the way the team handled his situation.
Yeah, I agree.
Bob Melvin is the right leader
Yeah.
for this group, and he showed his worth at the end of the year because he was preparing, and they navigated a lot of stuff through the season last year. But that playoff run was extra special because Bob Melvin got the guys to believe in themselves and go out there and say, you know what, even without Fernando Tatis Jr., we're going to do something special. They fell short, and I know as a player, a former player, you feel like you want to finish the job and have a World Series title. They took the next step, and I think that's the excitement. This opening day is going to be absolutely epic, and I cannot wait for that emotion to have San Diego show these players.
And thank you, Mark, for taking me with you.
Yeah, we have an on the air like red rope thing with you, right?
Right, of course.
What percentage of the season does Fernando Tatis Jr. miss this year? I can't
20
remember.
games. He's eligible to come back after 20 games. So
What
I think
month
it's
is
right
that?
around April 20th,
Okay.
I think it is.
All right.
He still has a wrist injury, still has a shoulder injury that hopefully is healed up correctly, and he's ready to go. But they're prepared either way. And I think this talent on this team is very exciting.
How do you feel all of our Washington Senators did this year? Sorry, Washington Nationals.
Yeah.
I mean, we got half the Nationals bankroll. I was happy with everybody because I don't think there had to be any gelling process that happened.
Yeah, I think Juan Soto is going to show his worth a lot more this year. It's a lot easier your second year. When you get traded over, there's a lot of pressure. He still performed, had some big moments. Look for good things this year.
Any predictions for the Padres for 2023?
Get into the dance and show that you can achieve anything. You can take down the Dodgers. Regular season did not look good against the Los Angeles Dodgers. It did in the playoffs.
It was a little ugly.
I have more questions for Jessica after the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first On the Air of 2023.
There you go.
And that's it?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. All right?
Wait, do I go back to my seat or no?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Or you can just stay up there and dance.
Hey, Gavin, can you add in? Everyone, get on your feet.
Yeah, sure. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first On the Air of 2023. Everybody on your feet. Take it away, Sully Band.
Nice job.
One
Wow.
take, Gavin.
Yeah, do you have any nervous at all?
A little bit. When I said oh, I was like, uh-oh.
That was the best part, I think. You're like, oh, let's go.
I got a question for Jessica Gercke. I know we have a power couple here
Yes.
with Mark and Cindy, but you're also part of a power couple because aren't you like an actor, an actress?
I am. Actually, my husband and I, we own a theater company in town. We're going into our 8th season. And I actually was just nominated for a Best Actress Award for the Very sweet.
Wait a minute, what's the name of the theater company?
It's called Backyard Renaissance, and the show was the October night of Johnny Zero. Tommy helped us promote it, but it's it's up against La Jolla Playhouse and the Globe and all of those.
We can beat them.
I know we can't. No, of course I love everybody. It's always it's a love fest there, but it was a big deal. And Frank comes from the Actor Studio in New York City, so when he
You
came
James
out here-
Lipton Actor Studio?
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely. And we were constantly being cast opposite each other for the last 20 some odd years, and then
Wait a
we're like,
minute.
hey, wait a minute.
Your husband's from the James Lipton thing?
Yes.
So my question to you is, what's your favorite curse word?
Tommy's
I
got
won't
his-
say it on here. Am I really allowed? No.
So what's the first show this year?
The first show's got a carnage. It was a big show on Broadway. I think James Gandolfini, Hope Davis, Jeff Daniels, and Marcia Gay Harden did it. And it was a big Tony Award winner, and it's going to be the first show of the season.
And when is that? When can we expect to see it?
It starts in March.
All right.
We go into rehearsals in just a few weeks.
All right.
So, yeah.
Me and
pretty
Tommy get a
exciting.
walk on somehow?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely
Tommy
going
will
to make sure
play-
you guys are in it.
I think we could play a tree.
I played a dead person in Renegade.
Did you?
Oh.
And when they picked me up, I lifted my head up.
Were you on your back and it was like,
Yeah. They just picked me up and I lifted my head.
all right. So what's next for you? What do you got going this year? Are you putting together programs for people? Are you still doing personal nutrition, or are you retired from that?
I'm not doing personal nutrition anymore, but I am creating a website that I will be able to help people with nutrition through subscriptions, and I'm also going to put out some new workouts.
Okay.
And I also started a side charcuterie business that's
What?
just going crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
Wait a second. What a perfect
Fabulous.
opportunity. A charcuterie business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think we need to have you on more often.
I had one she gave me one for Christmas and it was the best thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is where we say, hey, I need a charcuterie for my party coming up on Friday, and you make it for them?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And
you
I like
per-
to do themes and I do a lot of creative stuff. But
How do
Very
people reach
talented.
We're definitely hiring you for this.
just through my Instagram DM or word of mouth through friends and people.
What's up for you? Are you getting prepared? What do
I
you-
can't wait.
What do you do? Do you like work out for this? Like, do you like get vocal exercises? Like, what do you do?
I actually should, but I'm excited. Like after the New Year's, it's baseball season. You start feeling and start snowballing. I can't wait to get over to spring training and see these guys. And man, there's a lot of expectations for this team, but
Yeah.
And that's
can't wait.
weeks away.
Weeks away.
Wow.
Yeah, good stuff.
wait.
What about you? What's next for you? What sport are you playing right now?
Right now, I'm getting into the basketball season, and a little bit of baseball too. I'm practicing that.
All right.
And when does the baseball game start?
Look at it. He just took over the interview, just like that. Took over the whole show.
In
Show's over, Shakespeare. I'm out of here.
couple weeks he'll be playing.
Really?
And let's talk about your daughters.
Yes.
What are they doing?
So Jaden's still at UCLA. She's in grad school, so she's a 5th year, but she has 2 more years of eligibility because of redshirting and COVID. So she can potentially play a 6th, but she's for sure going to play this 5th year. And the team's going to be so good this year. It's pretty exciting.
That's cool.
And then Kendall is a freshman at ASU in beach volleyball, and
Wow.
she's going to have an amazing year as well.
They're living their best life.
Yeah.
They're doing great. We're very
stuff.
proud of them.
The best part about we've never had a family on the air. Can we give it a round of applause? We have a whole family on the show. God. And I mean, it's really great to see you guys like that. And now you guys need to come more often. I sort of feel that if something happens out there in the field, I think we need to get a camera crew out there. We got to see what's going on.
Yes.
And we got to get your charcuterie business off the ground right here.
Maybe
I
I
mean,
bring
literally
one
right
to
here.
next time we do the show. Maybe I bring one.
Yeah, you're
for
coming on
everyone here.
tomorrow, so that's good. And you talk about how we get involved with Helen Woodward?
Oh, well, you just go on to animalcenter.org. You can volunteer, you can foster, you can adopt. I do want to say we've got our Puppies and Padres photo shoot coming up. We'll be out there at spring training with the Padres. They've been amazing to Helen Woodward Animal Center, and to see those incredible athletes, the way they melt when they see puppies is pretty incredible.
It's their favorite day.
What's the website for your theater company?
It's backyardrenaissance.com.
Backyardrenaissance.com. Folks, thanks so much. One show for 2023.
Give it up for the live
In the
audience.
can.
Yeah. Live audience.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.